Hey, Elliot. Got a minute? I need to talk to you about something.
Lainey? Yeah, I've got some time. What's on your mind?
Did you hear about the announcement?
Announcement? What announcement?
The one from the kindergarten. They're having a performance this Saturday. Don't tell me you didn't know.
Oh, that. Yeah, I know about it. You sounded so serious, I thought it was something bad. So, what about the performance?
Huh, that's a pretty casual reaction. You make it sound like it's no big deal. Kind of cold, don't you think? It's the kid's big moment, and you're acting like it's nothing.
That's not true. The way you started the conversation threw me off. I thought something was wrong. Of course I'm excited about the performance.
Oh, really? Well, I'd hope so.
What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, Amy's playing the lead role, right? Of course you're excited.
So you knew. But listen, it's not like I'm excited just because she's the lead. I'd be proud of her no matter what role she's playing.
Oh, please, don't act like you're above all that.
Excuse me? What's that supposed to mean?
Come on, everyone knows being the lead is better than some background role. Don't pretend you don't care about that.
Don't put words in my mouth. That's not how I feel.
Oh, yeah? So you're saying you wouldn't mind if Amy weren't the lead?
Exactly. As long as the kids enjoy themselves, that's what matters most.
Then let Cam take the lead.
What?
I'm saying let Cam take the lead role. If it doesn't matter to you, then it shouldn't be a problem, right?
Are you serious? That's impossible.
See, I knew it. You're just pretending it's not a big deal, but deep down you don't want to give it up.
That's not what I meant. Look, it's not something we can just decide ourselves. The teachers are the ones who assign the roles.
I'm not asking you to change things yourself. All you have to do is tell the teacher that Amy wants to give up the role for Cam. Easy, right?
That's ridiculous. And no, I'm not doing that.
Why not?
Because Amy's been working hard on this for weeks. She's excited about it. You can't just expect her to step aside. And anyway, did Cam even say she wanted the lead? I don't recall her being the type to throw a fit about this kind of thing.
Of course Cam wouldn't whine about it. But when I heard about the performance, I asked Kay what role Cam had, and she told me Cam wasn't the lead. So obviously Cam must have wanted it.
Well, that sounds like you're just assuming things. Either way, I'm not asking Amy to give up her role. You'll have to let it go.
Come on, just let him have it. You said the role didn't matter, but clearly you're just pretending.
That's not fair. I said I didn't care about what role Amy got, but what Amy feels is a different story. Can you understand that? Why are you so fixated on this?
Because Cam's better suited to the role. She's cuter and she's smart enough to pick up the lines quickly. She's perfect for it.
You're seriously making this about looks?
It's not just that. Cam's charming. She's the type that people naturally want to watch on stage. Don't you get it? She deserves the spotlight.
I think we're done here. Goodbye.
Wait, you can't just walk away. Listen, I already told my parents about the performance. They're flying in to watch Cam, and if she's not the lead, it's going to be embarrassing.
That's not my problem. I doubt your parents will throw a fit just because Cam's not the lead in a kindergarten play.
You don't know that. Look, just do this one thing for me. Tell the teacher Amy's giving up the role. Otherwise...
Otherwise what?
Otherwise, I'll start telling everyone that Amy stole the role from Cam. I'll make sure all the moms know that Cam was supposed to get the lead, but your family forced her out of it.
Are you serious right now? You'd really stoop that low?
Try me. If you don't give up that role, I'll make sure your family's completely isolated. No more playdates, no more invitations to parties. You'll be an outcast.
You know what? Fine. Go ahead. Tell whoever you want. No one's going to believe you.
Oh, they will. People love a good story, especially one where the bad guy is easy to point out. Just imagine what they'll say when I tell them how Amy's parents pressured the teacher to pick her over Cam.
I'm not playing this game with you. I already sent screenshots of this conversation to the mom group.
Excuse me?
I'm not kidding. I screenshotted the whole thing. Everyone's going to know how you refused to let Cam have a chance, even after I begged you nicely. I'll make sure they know you're selfish, entitled, and only care about your kid being the star.
Huh?
The mom group. Didn't you get a notification?
Mom group? What's that? I've never heard of it.
Oh, you weren't invited? Well, that's unfortunate.
What? So I'm the only one left out? That's horrible!
Yeah, must have been some kind of oversight. Oh, wait, since you're feeling left out, let me fill you in on how everyone reacted after I posted our little chat.
Wait, what do you mean posted?
I shared our conversation with the mom group, figured they should know about what's been going on.
You what? Why would you do that?
Because you were threatening to spread lies about Amy. You said you'd tell everyone that Amy stole Cam's role, so I figured, well, better show everyone the truth first.
But what did they say?
Let me read some of the comments for you. Lainey's acting ridiculous again. Honestly, she's probably better off not being in the group. She doesn't even seem to care about her own kids' feelings. Did she even ask Cam what she wanted? Maybe that's why she didn't know about the performance until now. And now she's threatening people just to make herself look better? Wow.
What is this?
Exactly what I said. It's how the other moms reacted after seeing our conversation.
But why is everyone saying such awful things about me?
Well, for starters, the roles for the play were decided weeks ago. The kids have been practicing for a long time. Memorizing lines takes time, after all. You only just found out about it because you weren't paying attention. If you'd been listening to Cam, you'd have known much sooner.
Cam never told me. Oh, come to think of it, she didn't even want me to read the announcement flyer.
Maybe that's because she knew how you'd react.
What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, look at how you've been acting. Going on and on about how only the lead role matters, like anything else is worthless. Can you blame Cam for not wanting to tell you she didn't get the lead? Why would she want to hear her own mother belittling her role?
That's not fair. I didn't know.
Actually, Cam chose her role herself. The kids volunteered for their parts, and Cam put her hand up right away for the role she's playing. One of the teachers mentioned it when I was helping out the other day.
What? No one told me that!
Let me guess. You heard the name of the play, assumed there was a princess role, and asked Cam if that's what she was playing. When she said no, you jumped to conclusions. Sounds about right? I thought so. Cam's not upset about her role. You are. Honestly, I think she's excited about her part. She's been working hard on her lines, and I heard she's doing a fantastic job.
But if Cam wanted that role so badly...
She didn't. Cam picked her role because she liked it. And for the record, the lead role wasn't just handed to Amy. A bunch of kids volunteered for it, and they ended up deciding with a game of rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors?
Yep, 3 kids ended up sharing the role.
3?
Wait, you didn't know that either? No wonder you've been so fixated on this. I was starting to wonder why you were only coming after me about this. Well, guess that clears things up. The other 2 kids probably just aren't close to Cam, so their names never came up.
Why would they need 3 kids for one role?
Because the lead role has way more lines than the others. It's too much for one child to handle alone. Splitting it 3 ways makes it manageable.
Then what was the point of this whole conversation?
I don't know. Were you hoping to brag about Cam standing out and stealing the spotlight? Sounds like you were more worried about how things looked than how Cam actually felt. Honestly, I feel bad for her.
That's not true. I just wanted her to have a chance to shine.
By forcing her into a role she didn't even want? That's not supporting her, Lainey. That's just feeding your own pride.
I wasn't trying to...
You know what? Forget it. Cam deserves better than this. She's a sweet kid, and she's already been working hard on the role she chose. You pushing her into something else just because you're worried about what your parents will think, that's not fair to her.
I'm not pushing her.
Aren't you? Cam's been practicing quietly this whole time, and you didn't even know. If she wanted the princess role so badly, don't you think she'd have told you herself? Instead, she didn't even want you to see the flyer. Doesn't that tell you something? Look, I get it. You're proud of Cam. You want her to stand out, to be the star. But you're so caught up in that you're ignoring what she wants.
I just wanted her to feel special.
She already does. You should have seen her the other day showing off her costume to the teachers. She was beaming. You know why? Because she's playing the role she wanted, and she's good at it.
I didn't know.
Of course you don't. You were too busy trying to get her something she didn't even want.
I didn't mean to make things worse for her.
Then fix it. Talk to Cam. Ask her about her role. Really listen this time. Because right now you're the one making her feel like she's not enough.
What if she's disappointed? What if she really did want the lead and she just didn't tell me?
If that's the case, then be there for her. But I think you'll find she's proud of what she's doing. Cam's stronger than you're giving her credit for.
I'll talk to her.
Good, because honestly, she deserves a mom who's cheering her on, not one who's fighting battles she never asked her to.
I messed up, didn't I?
Yeah, but it's not too late to fix it. Just let Cam be Cam. That's all she's asking for. On the day of the performance, the children were eagerly and happily preparing for the play. Their faces lit up with excitement as they rehearsed their lines and movements. It was clear that they had been working hard and were looking forward to showcasing their efforts. The stage was set and the atmosphere was filled with a sense of anticipation and joy. They couldn't wait for their moment to shine, and it was heartwarming to see how much they had invested in making the performance a success. Among them was Amy, who, like the others, had her own set of nerves and excitement. Cam, too, was full of energy, but there was an added weight on her mind. Although the children were all focused on their roles and rehearsing in their own way, for Amy and Cam, the day held a mix of emotions, especially after what happened earlier. After the performance came to an end, everyone was buzzing with excitement. It had been a success, and the children had done a remarkable job. The applause from the audience was loud and full of admiration, and it was clear that the hard work they had put into the play had paid off. Amy and Cam, along with the other children, felt a sense of accomplishment. It was a moment that they would remember, a culmination of their efforts, and it felt like a small victory. However, after the event, as the crowds began to thin and parents started to gather their children, something unexpected happened. Cam's grandparents, her father's parents, approached her. They were warm and welcoming, but there was a noticeable tension in the air. It wasn't the usual cheerful greeting one might expect from family members, but rather a conversation that carried an undercurrent of discomfort and a certain weight of responsibility. Cam had known that something was off, but she hadn't anticipated what they were about to say. Her grandparents began by acknowledging the performance, but their words soon took a more serious turn. They made it clear that they knew about the trouble Cam had caused in the past. Specifically, they brought up the incident where Cam had caused some problems and the fact that she made things difficult for people around her. The conversation then shifted to the apology Cam had made, or rather the apology she hadn't made in the way they thought was necessary. Her grandparents expressed their concerns about the way Cam had handled things and the impact it had on everyone involved, especially her friends and those who had been affected by her actions. They made it clear that they felt Cam needed to reflect on what she had done and make amends, but that there was still a long road ahead before things could be set right. It didn't end there. The conversation continued to delve into the difficult territory of her behavior, with the grandparents pointing out how Cam's actions had caused discomfort not only for the people directly involved, but also for others who had been a part of their social circle. Her friends had been put in an awkward position, and some of them had been hurt by her behavior. It was a harsh reality that Cam had to face, but she knew deep down that the truth of the matter couldn't be ignored. As the conversation unfolded, her grandparents revealed the decision they had made in consultation with Cam's husband. They had decided that Cam should return to her parents' house for a while to reflect on her actions and figure out how to move forward. It wasn't an easy decision for them to make, but they felt it was necessary for Cam's well-being and the well-being of the family. They expressed concern about the way things had been going and wanted her to have the space to think things through and heal. Amy, standing by Cam's side, could see the sadness in her friend's eyes. Cam didn't speak much at first, as the weight of the situation seemed to settle in. The idea of leaving was difficult, and the thought of being separated from her own home was a hard pill to swallow. However, she understood why it had come to this point. It wasn't just about the mistakes she had made, it was about the broader consequences and the need for some time to reflect, grow, and rebuild relationships. Cam's grandparents, although firm in their decision, were not without compassion. They told Cam that they understood how hard it must be, and they reassured her that their love for her had not wavered. They had only made this decision because they believed it was the best thing for her, even if it didn't feel like it in the moment. They didn't want to push her away, but they felt that the time had come for Cam to face the consequences of her actions and take responsibility for them. Amy, despite the sadness she felt for Cam, could see that there was a sense of kindness in the way her grandparents were handling the situation. They weren't being punitive or harsh, rather they were offering Cam the opportunity to reflect and grow in a way that would help her become a better person in the long run. And though it was painful to hear, Amy understood that sometimes difficult decisions had to be made for the greater good. Cam, for her part, listened quietly, her mind racing with a mixture of emotions. She felt a deep sense of regret for the way things had turned out, but she also recognized that this was a chance for her to take a step back and make amends. Perhaps this separation would be the space she needed to clear her mind, to truly reflect on the mistakes she had made, and to find a way to move forward in a more positive direction. Her grandparents continued to speak kindly, even as they informed Cam that her return to her parents' home was inevitable. They spoke about how living with her grandparents might offer a fresh perspective and a supportive environment. They reassured her that despite the tough love they were showing, they only wanted what was best for her, and that she would have the chance to rebuild her relationship with everyone over time. Amy, though sad to see her friend in such a situation, couldn't help but think that perhaps this would be the best thing for Cam in the long run. The grandparents had always been warm and understanding, and the idea of Cam living with them for a while might be the healing process she needed. They would offer her the stability and support she required, and hopefully, in time, Cam would find a way to rebuild her life and restore the connections she had damaged. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.